Sandhya Rani, School Assistant English. I am here to deal English as part of the special revision class for 10th students. As you all know, due to this COVID, students and teachers interaction is not available to the students. To fill that gap, district authorities have planned to revise the lesson plus model paper. Revising the lesson with the model paper. Now, all through the year we have been teaching about the instructions and how to write English and all. Now, I'll give the bullet points to get more marks in English. As part of it, as you all know, English model paper is divided into two, first paper and second paper. In first paper, section A, we'll have passages. Passages, that is from question number 1 to 7. That is reading, comprehension. We have to comprehend it. Comprehend means we have to understand this and write this. Read the following passage carefully. Here the passage will be given. You have to read it thoroughly. Again and again you have to read it. It has been taken from reading A. We have A reading, B reading and C reading. Here, as you all know, we have all these topics in the reader. First unit, personality development. In that, A reading, B reading and C reading. A reading is attitude. B reading is every success story, a story of failures. C reading, I'll do it. And the second unit, wit and humor. In that, A reading, Dear Departed, part 1. Dear Departed, part 2. The Brave Potter. And third unit, human relations. In this, we have journey and another woman. The Never Nest. And in fourth unit, it's linked with films and theatres. As part of it, we have Rendezvous with Ray, Maya Bazaar, B reading and C reading, A tribute. And fifth unit is social issues, A reading, The Storied House part 1 and The Storied House part 2 and Abundant. As you all know, this is 6th unit, biodiversity. We have environment or Will the Dreamer Awake as poem, Tale of Three Villages. And unit 7, nation and diversity. This is linked with My Childhood, A Plea for India, unity and diversity. And unit 8, human rights. In that we have Jamaican fragment, Once Upon a Time, What is My Name? Here you have to read all this topic thoroughly. In the classrooms, usually teachers make you to read and read, but due to this time gap, you might have forgotten it. It's a human psychology that if you don't have exams and all, you may forget. There's every chance of forgetting. Keeping that in view, once again, I refreshed your mind. I revised all our topics. Now, as I told you, first 7 questions are linked with reading A from the textbook. That means you may get from attitude is altitude or Dear Departed, part 1, the journey, Rendezvous with Ray, the storied house, environment, my childhood, Jamaican fragment. So, you have to read all these lessons. As you all know, attitude is linked with Nick, who has no arms and legs and had done extraordinary things. That is a motivational lesson to you. You have to read it. Then Dear Departed, here wit and humor, how the daughters treat their father. Then human relations, the journey, illiterate father treats literate son. He gives more respect to the son. But son's inner feelings are different. He did not like his father to do all these jobs, but father said that you are doing white collar job. That's why I do everything to you. Then random is with Ray. This is about director Ray, who is a legend in directing the films. Here, Roberts interacted with Ray, and we all know about this. And storied house, as you all know, it's a social issue. Bayaji constructed storied house, but the elders, Bujaba and all, did not like that. You know how he was ill-treated. You have to concentrate on it. Then in the environment also you will get questions. And as you all know how our environment is being polluted, you have to read it. Then my childhood, it is linked with Abdul Kalam. Sri Abdul Kalam, how he had led his childhood days and how the school was, how teachers treated him. All this you have to read. Then Unit 8, Human Rights. It's a Jamaican fragment. How the Negro or Blackie and White, two brothers, they used to play as roles, and how this Jamaican fragment and how the human rights to be protected. All these were given in these 8 units. That means in 8 units you have to concentrate on the A readings to get 7 out of 7 marks. Here you have to read this passage thoroughly and you have to read the questions 1 to 4. Now answer the following questions. Each question has 4 choices. These questions are MCQs. MCQ means multiple choice questions. You have to read this and 4 choices will be given. Out of it, you have to write A, B, C or D. Keep in the mind that always you have to write capital letter. A, B, C and D. If at all it goes wrong, just you have to strike it off. You should not repair A into B or A into D like that. Just you have to strike it off. You put another bracket and write your answer. Don't write small letters. Always you have to write only capital letters. A, B, C or D. According to the answer, accurate answer you have to give. Next, after writing 1 to 4 as multiple choice questions, then 5 to 7 are short answer questions. Short answer questions, again you have to read the passage. While reading the passage, always you have to put in your mind that these lessons you have to recollect. Oh, attitude is attitude, dear departed, the journey, all these lessons once you have to remember. Then you have to answer the questions. While writing the questions, you should be very careful that question and answer should be related. You should not write what you know. You have to write what is given. Here, students usually they practice and practice and practice. Without reading the question properly, they present answer. That is not correct. You have to read the questions repeatedly, number of times. Then you have to recollect your A reading. Then you have to write the answer here. Getting full marks here is in your hands. That's why you have to concentrate more on it. 1 to 4 multiple choice questions, short answer type 5 to 7. Total marks you will get here 10. Multiple choice questions carries 1 mark each. Short questions carries 2 marks each. 3 into 2 6, 4 into 1 4. Altogether 10 marks you will get in this A reading related passage in the reader. Next, let's go with the 8 to 12 questions. Here again you will have reading passage only. This will be taken from reading B and C from the textbook. A reading for 1 to 7. B and C readings for 8 to 12 questions. Here again the passage will be given and you have to read the passage again and again. You have to remember every success story is story of failures. Dear Departed Part 2, Another Woman, The Never Never Nest, A Tribute, Abundant, Tale of Three Villages, and Unity in Diversity, What is My Name? You have to once again recollect your memory. I will do it. How Narayana Murthy had succeeded in spite of his failures, and even every success story is a story of failures. We know about Edison and all, how many times they had failed, and afterwards it has become fruitful. You have to remember, recollect your memory. Next, you have to go with the dear departed, the treatment of father by his daughters. Next, I will do The Brave Potter. It's a witty story. Here, wit and humor, the concept itself is wit and humor. As you all know, wit and humor is linked with laugh. The Brave Potter, how he plucks tree and bows and all these will be given, and how he faces tiger. Next, another woman, how the women are ill-treated in the society. Main concept here is human relations. How the husband-wife relations will be, and mother-in-law's, father-in-law's relations will be given here. The Never Never Nest, it's also a funny story. Aunt Jane comes to the couple. They take everything on installments, even their car, chair, cot, everything they bought in installments. That is Never Never Nest, means never ending story. You have to read it. Taking more on installment is not good. Then Maya Bazaar and Tribute. You know the movie Maya Bazaar? It's a all-time record movie. Then a tribute is about Srimati Savitri Garu, the legendary actress. And you have to remind them again the Mayaji's position in the storied house, and Abundant, how the girl child are thrown in the dustbin, and how the ants had been eaten her. All these you know. Then Or the Dreamer Lake, how the previously the biodiversity was safeguarded, and how human beings are now neglecting the environment and biodiversity. Older person, he explains how were the forests previously and how was it now. He compares, just you have to recollect it. Then Tale of Three Villages. As you all know, it's a short story, Tale. It's a T-A-I-L. Tale means you all know monkeys and animals will have. You have to know the difference between this tale and this tale. Both are same alike, but they are homonyms. This tale is linked with the animal's tale, and this tale is a small story. Story of three villages, and how these three villages have been affected with the polluted gas and polluted petrol and all, how the people are throwing drums into their villages and how they are getting diseases. Then a plea for India. Indians are, plea is nothing but it's a request. Plea for India. Requested to safeguard our environment. Here, nation and diversity, and how we have to stand unitedly to protect our nation. Then India, unity in diversity. As you all know, our country is a vast country with the difference in religions, regions, languages and all. Though we have all these, we have unity in diversity. You have to read it thoroughly. Then, once upon a time, how were the conditions? Now, how the conditions have been changed. Then, what is my name? As you all know, it's a funny story. It's a narration. The lady, she forgets her name by doing sewing and all household works. And afterwards, she came to know her actual name. Her father used to call her as Emoy, and children used to call her as Mummy, Amma, and others used to call her as Odagaru, Akkagaru, like that. In that way, she had forgotten her name. All these once you have to refresh your memory and come to this passage. This passage is linked with B reading, C reading, from the reader. You have to read it, and pattern of questions are here. Now answer the following. You have to read the instructions thoroughly. Always you have to read the instructions in the question paper. Now answer the following questions. Each question has 4 choices. Choose the correct answer and write the options A, B, C or D in your answer booklet. We have to write nowhere on the question paper. We have to write. If your answer is A, you have to write A in the bracket. If it is B, you have to write B. C or D. Always use capital letters. If at all, once again I repeat you, if at all it goes wrong, just you put arrow mark, into mark or wrong mark. Rewrite it correctly. Don't repair the letters. These are multiple choice questions. Each question carries 1 mark. 3 into 1, 3 marks. Next, let's go with the answer the following questions in 1 or 2 sentences. In English, usually children will have bad habit of putting text from here to here. Just they will write, but we don't find answer in it. You have to recollect your lessons once. Then you have to attempt the questions. You have to read the passage again and again and again, and you have to write the question, what they had asked. You should not write according to your pre-recorded answer. You have to get from the passage itself. Otherwise, from the memory of the lessons. You have to write, read the question, read the passage once again, and you have to present the answer. According here 2 marks, 2 questions will be given, and each carries 1 mark, 2 into 1, 2 marks. Altogether this passage from B and C reading, you will get 5 marks. That means these 15 marks are in your hands, ready-made marks, because throughout the year you had studied A reading, B reading, C reading and all. That's why these are very, very easy questions and easy scoring area in English. To score more marks, here you have to concentrate more. 10 marks for the passage 1 to 7 and 5 marks for the passage 8 to 12. Means 15 marks you will score here out of this 8 units. It's very easy, and you have to write very meaningfully to get answers. Okay? All the best, children.
Children, now let us go through the section B. In question paper already you have gone through section A with the comprehensive passage. Now I am going to teach you section B, under which vocabulary and grammar comes. Here you have already gone through 1 to 7 and 8 to 12. Now I am going to teach you about the questions related with question number 17 and question number 13 to 17, there are 5 questions which comes under 18 part, and these may come from your textbook section A, B and sometimes from C reading also. So here each question carries 1 mark. This is the highest marks, these are the highest marks allotted in grammar and vocabulary. This is the tough part for you people. So let us go through what type of questions you are going to answer. First, you go through the passage given for you under 18. There will be 5 questions. Here, when you go through the paragraph, first you identify to which tense it belongs to, and what are the parts of speech are related in that, and what articles should be there, and how the singular and plural forms are there. So you have to go through them and you have to identify the mistakes given in that paragraph. So now, in order to identify the mistakes given in that paragraph, you should be aware of the grammatical part. Number 1, tense. As you all know, there are three types of tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. Each tense is again divided into four subparts, that is simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. Here the structure of the sentence will be subject plus verb in present tense. You all know V1 means verb 1, that is verb in present tense. Here subject plus verb 1, that is I subject, speak verb in present tense. Next, if you come for present continuous tense, there is subject and be form and plus verb plus in form. Here under be form, it is first person, then you have to write am. If it is singular, is, and if it is plural, are. Here I am speaking. Subject be form, verb with in form. Next, present perfect tense. Here the subject have or has auxiliary verb and verb in present participle. Here I have spoken. Next, present perfect continuous. That means subject with have or has. Here I have 2 books. He has 2 books. That means first person carries with have and second person with has. I have been speaking. That means you are combining both present perfect and present perfect continuous tense in a singular form. Then come to past tense, simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. Here the structure is here as follows. Subject with verb 2, that means verb in past tense. Next, subject with be form. So if it is singular, it is was, and if it is plural, it is were. Subject plus be form plus verb plus in form. Next, for past perfect tense, subject plus had plus verb in past tense. If you come for past perfect continuous tense, the subject had plus be plus verb plus in form. Here, for each one, the examples are I spoke, I was speaking, I had spoken, I had been speaking. This is much stressed for you 9th and 10th class children. The immediately completed action and action just complete. Here comes under future tense, simple future tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense. Here the structure is subject with shall or will. It will indicate how definite you are. So with verb in present tense, I shall speak, or it may be I will speak. Then subject with shall or will with be form and verb plus in. I shall be speaking or I will be speaking. Next, subject with shall or will with have plus verb 2, that means verb in past tense. I shall have spoken. Next, subject with shall or will plus have plus being plus in form. I shall have been speaking. While filling these, for singular present tense it is am or is, and singular past tense the helping verb was should be there. Plural are and were. That means when you are going through the editing part, you have to see which tense this matter or these 5 lines belongs to and what are the mistakes there. And another thing which you have to know are parts of speech as well as articles. If you all know, the parts of speech are 8. What are they? Noun. What is a noun? It is a name of a person, place or a thing. Examples you all know: Ramya, Ramu, Hyderabad, Tiger, like that. Then pronoun. Pronoun is a word used instead of noun. He, she, it, they, those. Next, adjective. What will we do? It will describe the noun or the pronoun. Here, if you say Ramu is a handsome man. Ramya is a beautiful girl. So you are describing how the noun is. Next, adverb. Verb. Verb is action of the, it is called an action word. Depending on verb only, you will be able to identify to which tense it belongs to. So here, verb is action word. Sleeping, sleep, drink, write, play, like that. Next, adverb. What will it do? It will describe a verb or an adjective or another adverb. That is loudly, quickly, slowly. That means it will describe how the action is going on. Next one, conjunction. You all know, here itself junction. That means it is the joining word. A joining word of two words or two sentences. And, but, so, like that. Next, preposition. Here the important part of the speech. Without this, you cannot be able to exactly gain the actual meaning of that sentence. It is a word or phrase that connects a noun or pronoun to a verb or adjective in a sentence. In, on, through, so, that, although, before, after. Likewise, there are so many prepositions. And the last but not least, that is interjection. It is the word of expressions of wow, oh. That means the expression feeling happy, joyous or sorrow. So these are the parts of speech. So should be able to identify to which part it belongs to. And another important point to be noted for identifying the mistakes in editing is articles. What are articles? There are two types of articles. Indefinite article and definite article. A and the. From your childhood, from primary school, you know, a book, a pen, a pencil, an egg, an elephant, an umbrella. But you don't know the difference between A and an. Now you go through, if you go to alphabets, alphabets are divided into two types, consonants and vowels. So A is the word used before the words beginning with consonants or the sound of consonants. Again, a book, a pen, a gate. If you come for an is used before vowels. Vowels A, E, I, O, U. These vowels are used, when they are used, an article is used before them. So, an is used before vowels or vowel sounding words. If you come to definite article, the correct word. The book which I have given to you, not all the books, the book, the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, which are very specific. And also, the important thing is, when you are going through the superlative degrees, every time the superlative degree word is followed by what? The biggest, the longest, the largest, the smallest. Like that, if you keep them in your mind, you will be able to answer the editing part in a very clear way. Out of 5 marks, you can go for 4 marks. If you are too intelligent, you can come with 5 marks. Editing question number 13 to 17. Here, it happened in April the 26th, 1986. I remember the date because it was my mother's birthday. We heard the explosion early in the morning. We did not worry because there have been explosions before from Chernobyl. But this one was bigger. We could see a cloud of white smoke coming for the nuclear reactor. This is the question paragraph given under editing. What I said you before you. It happened in April. So what should be here before the month of the year? It should be on. It is not in. So you have to rectify the mistake and you have to write down question number 13. It happened not in April, on April. The major mistake done by you children is, like previous questions, you are just writing question number 13 on. No, this is not correct. You have to completely write down the sentence along with the rectified word. So you should not write just the correct word, but also the whole sentence you have to write. Don't forget to remember this point. It is very, very important. The whole paragraph should be written with question numbers, with the correct form of the word. If you take the second mistake, this is 14th question. I remember the date because it was my mother's birthday. Here it is mother's, plural. It should not be plural. It is my mother's, mamma yokka. So here you should write, what should be there? Mother's, apostrophe S. There should be apostrophe. So this minor mistake should be identified by you. This carries you 1 mark. It is not a joke. So you have, there should be an apostrophe here. Next, the 15th question is, we heard the explosion early in the morning. It is not the morning, in the morning. So what is the preposition here? In the morning. So you have to completely write the whole sentence. We did not worry because they have been. Have been is present perfect, but there should be past perfect. So what is the main auxiliary verb here? Should be added? Had been. There had been. Because looking into this was, we did on my mother's birthday, we could, this gives you, this sentence is in past tense. So within the sentence, there is no chance for present tense and past tense. So you have to answer had been. Next, we could see a cloud of white smoke coming for the nuclear. It is not for, it should be from the nuclear reactor. So keeping these points in your mind, you should be able to answer the 18 part. Next comes the question number 18 to 22. 18 to 22, here, this is also from the textbook. There are words given here, 6 to 7, more than the blanks. There are more choices for you. And this is, as an end cartoonist Walt Disney, blank. Question number 18. Many rejections from newspaper editors who said he had no dash. One day a minister at a church dashed him to draw. So here the words are given and you have to identify the correct vocabulary here into these blanks. So you have to select from here and you have to write down the answers like this. Write down the question number and write down the answer. Next, coming to the question number 23 to 27. Here there is a paragraph given here and few words are underlined and you are given a question for each underlined word. Here, when I was 13, I read a newspaper article about a disabled man who had managed to achieve great things and help. Others said, Nick, I realized why God had made us like this, to give hope to others. It was inspiration to me that I decided to use my life to encourage other people and give them the courage that the news had given me. Here, the first word underlined is disabled. For this, write the word that has the same meaning, that is synonym. That means disabled, same meaning is physically challenged or mentally challenged or unable. Next, the second question is 24 question. Write the correct form of the underlined word. What is the correct form for inspiration? Here it should be inspirational. If the 25th question, replace the underlined word with a correct one. It should not be used, it should be used. And the 26th question, write the opposite word for encourage. It is discourage. Next, the last one, news. Replace the underlined word with a suitable one. The news, the information, the matter. So these are the questions which you are going to write under section B, under vocabulary and grammar.
Dear children, this is M. Aditya, English teacher working at ZPSS Army Academy, Kottaguda, Bhadradri district. Today we will discuss about the paper 1 question numbers 28 and 29. Under 28 we have the major discourses like story and narration, conversation, description, drama script and play, interview and choreography. Under 29 question number we have the minor discourses, notice, diary entry and message. First let's start with the question number 28, the major discourses, story and narration. So what is the difference between the story and narration? First of all we have to know. So narration is an event which turns into information. It gives the information of the story, whereas the story is an account of imaginary events told for, especially told for the entertainment. So what are the points we have to follow in the story and narration? The story and narration should be context, it should have context, and you should use phrases like once upon a time or long ago when you are telling a story. So first of all, if it is a story, you have to introduce the characters and you have to describe the event. Whatever topic or the subject you take, we should describe the event. That is called the plot. And after discussing or the describing the event with the very interesting, thrilling, it should be thrilling and it should end with the end of the story. It should be more interesting and it should be so thrilling that the listener will not be able to imagine the ending of the story. So that makes the story very interesting. So when you are telling a story, the ending of the story or the climax should be very interesting and unpredictable also. Okay, this is about the story and the narration. The difference between story and narration is in the narration, the event turns into information. That is the basic difference between story and narration. There is not much difference. Thank you, children. Now we will come to conversation. The conversation should be between two people or more than two people. And when you are writing a conversation, you should at least maintain some rules. First of all, you should have at least 10 to 12 exchanges, if possible, more than that. So when we are dealing with a conversation is nothing but responses between people. So while you are writing the conversation, it should have 10 or more exchanges. Ideas expressed should be in the proper order. Do not give an abrupt ending. You should not vaguely end up the conversation. You should have an ending for the conversation too. So while you are writing the conversation, you can use some responses like yes, yes, I agree, no, please, I do not agree. So these are the responses which add flavor to your conversation. So the dialogue should be in a proper order. It should be it should not be out of the topic. You have to stick up to the topic and you have to use proper tenses and punctuations. So, now coming to the descriptive part. Description is the major discourse wherein we describe the places, persons, objects and things. So, when you want to describe a place, you have to give all the points like where is the location, how is the atmosphere there, what are the sights, what are the sounds, and what is the purpose of describing that place, and if it is a historical, you should also explain the history of the place. Next, coming here to the descriptive part, relationship with the writer. Now, when you are describing with the person, what is the relation between the writer and the person, and the social status of the person, and what is the profession, and also what are the features of the person. So, when you are describing an object should be described with the type of the structure, what is the shape, what is the manufacturing details, and what is the color, and so on when you describe the object. And things like gadgets. We are today we are very used to these gadgets. The electronic gadgets, for example, you use a cell phone. So when you are describing a cell phone, for example, you should give all the features and what are the functions of the gadget mainly. So this will be giving more effect for your description, and you can score more marks. Coming to the drama script or the play, every drama script or the play should have a title, and when we are writing in the form of dialogues, we have to whichever person is speaking, his name should be written on the left hand side and the dialogues on the right hand side. That has scene, like where and when that has taken place, and the characters you have to describe them. Then the plot, that is the total plan of the script, like introduction, what is the problem, and what are the resolutions, it can be any drama script. Now you should be able to use present tense when you are writing the drama script, and use proper punctuations while writing a drama script. So sentence formation should be very correct, and you can use question tags to add more flavor when you are writing a drama script or the play. Then coming to the interview. So we are all aware of what is an interview. So when you are writing an interview, how you write in the conversation, you should have 10 or more exchanges, and they should be having appropriate language, and sentences should be well organized. And you have to, in an interview, you will have questions and responses. So there should be appropriate questions and there should be appropriate responses also, and the topic should be very relevant to the subject there, what the interviewer is doing. So this way you should not even abruptly end an interview, it should have a proper ending also. Next, children, the choreography script, which is very interesting. We have 6 poems in our English reader, of which you have to be doing the choreography script. So for the choreography script, these are the basic points what we have to follow. First of all, for any choreography, you should be giving a title. Then the theme or the themes of the poem. Then what are the characters involved in the poem, and where is the location, and what are the instances in the poem, and the sequence of the actions and moods of the poem is very important for the choreography. So when you write all this, the moods of the poem should have good music, good actions with proper rhythm, and also synchronization and singing. So this is the heart of the choreography script. Thank you, children. This is the major discourses you will have to attempt in your lesson number 18, 28, and you have choice. You will be given choice. You can write either the whichever you are thorough with. Thank you. Now coming to the lesson number 29, minor discourses. We have 3 minor discourses. That is the message, notice and diary entry. So, what is a message? Message is a verbal or written communication to a person. So, when you want to pass on some message and whenever the person is not available, you can pass on a message to his family or any other available person. Same wise, you can write it in a written form. That is, you can send it via electronic gadgets also. This message, while you are answering the minor discourses, message, notice and diary entry, you can make it very colorful. You should give a table like, you should put a box. You can also decorate it and also use coloring to make it more effective. So this is the message. When you are passing the message, it is very essential to put the date and time, and whatever message you want to give, you should put it in the body, and you should write your name of the address. That is very important for the message. Coming to the notice part, we give notice, notification to allow the people who receive it to prepare and come to the occasion. Like for example, we have an electrician competition in our school. Our headmistress will give us a notification. That is called the notice. Why they give notice in well advance? For us to prepare and come to the occasion. So, when a notice is being written, these are the things we put up in the box, like the name of the institution or the organization, and you should put the heading, notice, then date, month and year, and heading, like the topic, like for example, electrician competition, Teachers' Day celebrations, and so on. Then the body and the content. Next, the person should sign, write his name and also the designation. Here designation means in our school, HR. Thank you. Now coming to the diary entry. When you make a diary entry, it's a diary is arranged, recorded and arranged part of a day. Whatever we do in the course of the day, we put it in a proper arranged manner and make a diary entry. So when you are writing the diary entry, you should make on the left hand side of the paper, you have to put the day and date, time, then the salutation. We generally use dear diary for that, and body of the letter. What are the moods you maintain that day? How are your feelings? Are you very happy or you are sad? Or whatever memorable things, you will record it in the diary entry. Then signature is a must and important in the diary entry, and you should write the name. Here ends our major and minor discourses, lesson number 28 and lesson number 29. Thank you, children. Dear children, now we will sum up the paper 1. Paper 1 has A, B, C and sections. So, under section A, we have the comprehension passages that are from our English reader. Dear children, this is a review. Already teachers have discussed about what is paper A, paper B and paper C. When you come to the paper A, you
Part A, section 1.
Section A, in paper 1, section A has comprehension passages. It is testing your comprehension. So you should be thoroughly reading up the textual reader, and you should be well well acquainted with what is going on in the passage. So, coming to the B, it's the grammar and vocabulary. Madam has explained you what is what all the parts you have in the grammar and the vocabulary. So that you should thoroughly have a revision and get ready for the examination. Coming to the paper C, that section C, it's very interesting. You have to be exhibiting your skills, and you can make it very interesting. That is the major discourses and minor discourses. Major discourses has a choice, whereas you do not have any choice for the minor discourses. So happy Corona time, enjoy, read as well, and get ready for your SSC examinations. Thank you.